which is they'll take Pango. If Grim's available, then they'll take Grim as well. So Team Spirit are kind of forced in a position where it's like, well, Grim's solid, we have to take it. Void's available, why not? But then FlyToMoon, now we're at the Nyx, which I think it's a nice hero. I think it's a little bit reactionary potentially.
Yep. I'm not a huge fan of it personally because it kind of reveals your Pango's your offlaner now, which I imagine FlyToMoon was probably thinking in the first place. It's general.
Yeah, exactly. That's my issue.
It's always
right?
general's hero.
Last time we were on the panel for a FlyToMoon series, they picked Pangolier in their first game, but they didn't cover it. They had no initiation, no frontline, and Pangolier was meant to be that guy. And that's when I didn't like it. Then the next two drafts, they had Pangolier, but they covered it with like a Void and these ways to actually walk in first. So I think maybe this is like their soft way of allowing the Pangolier not to be the guy to walk up front, to maybe make sure he's actually got some presence.
Yeah, I get that. I just feel like you'd go for your 5 first, but you know, teach their own.
Do you think
it could also just be the always want to fly hero.
I was just gonna say, do you think there was a big concern that Nyx maybe would have got banned out by Team Spirit, and that's why they pick it up so quickly? Because it's not really a hero you think of first.
This could be one of those moments for FlyToMoon. They've already got a game plan, right? Like they already knew. Like once you look at these drafts, okay, we take Pango, they might snap pick X hero. Therefore, if we pick Nyx, it covers our future picks that we've got planned out, right? So as much as we speculate, I think maybe there's a plan behind it, or it could just be a very much default. Just pick a casual Nyx.
I just don't think it's great here. I like it a lot when it's used for the break. Like if I see a Timber, like I'm down to Nyx no matter what. Same with like a Necrophos as an example, but I don't love it in the open. But again, FlyToMoon doesn't have that versatility on the Pango roll like we thought maybe they did, because it's really just General's hero every game they've picked it.
But they've also actually run a previous draft where they had Pango, Nyx, Ember, plus an active support, right? Ember's not banned right now, so they might just be trying to get to that style of draft that they've had before, that play style, but approaching it in a different form.
It's a really tough Ember game.
Especially
I think you go for something just creep hero right now. Whenever I see, we've talked about this in the past, but whenever you see 2 ranged int supports, especially those with limited wave clear, yeah, Grimstroke's not bad, but still early game. You don't really respond well to pressure. It makes heroes like Lycan, Furion, maybe even a PL here as your 4th pick for FlyToMoon looks really nice. Any sort of illusion and minion pressure, these supports can't deal with it whatsoever.
I guess we were fixated on the idea this Nyx is a 4, it could still be a 5, right? Because these 2 supports especially are interchangeable.
Yeah, for sure. Especially because you have the Disrupt into Impel setup. You have a very active duo where you can both play side lanes and then come meet together in mid lane at night time. Pressure there. Pick up the Riki, okay.
Oh.
Do you think
really solid here?
Do you think the FlyToMoon are setting up for that kind of bulky boy strength core lineup now with the Shadow Demon in your hands? Because you said you don't like this idea of Pangolier as just your
FlyToMoon are a little bit more quirky with their picks. Normally V-Tune's the grounding factor of this team. He'll play the Void, the Slark, maybe even a Wraith King, and then you'll have Iceberg. He'll be on that kind of flashier hero, the unexpected mid. You've seen maybe they pick Leshrac, Sky, Tiny, these types of heroes. So I expect here you either pick up the Iceberg mid just because you don't have last pick, you cover it with a ban, or you just pick up your staple V-Tune hero. It does look like a okay Slark game to some degree. I think Void as well could be okay.
What about Riki?
I'm just talking about V-Tune heroes, brother. We're talking about the FlyToMoon.
Okay, let's. Do you want to glaze past that, or do you want to tackle him to the ground on it?
You can't pick a Slark or Void into Riki drafts, especially one with this much lockdown. You gotta go for the illusion heroes, Nog or PL.
Okay, sure you can, but I'm thinking like I want to see the FlyToMoon that I've enjoyed watching, not just boring old
FlyToMoon. The ones that lose games
against the good teams, sure, but against the bad teams, they're doing
It's not a bet. What?
Kyle, I know what it is.
Teams in the tournament, Tiga. Everybody's got to fight.
Do you want to rewind the tape?
I'm not doubling down. I will admit. I just said a whole load of poppycock, and I agree with Kyle. So yeah, I am right.
Don't back down. Stand by your.
No, because I don't want to die by my own. I'm wrong. Like I'm so wrong. It's so unreal.
Maybe it was just you were trying. You like the previous patch. Everyone's picking Naga and PL. No, don't want this to happen again.
No, I'm just like I got fixated on a good old V-Tune 2 heroes. And I forgot that other heroes existed.
Way to give him credit there. He plays 2 heroes.
He does. That's basically it.
Yeah.
All right, moving on.
T-Gov knows if we didn't back down, we'd be having words outside.
Yeah, I'd need more makeup to cover the
strong arm.
I think we stopped doing it in America in like the 50s, but I heard in Britain up into the 2010s, you guys got caned. Like if you did something bad, the headmistress would grab a big stick.
Still current day, mate.
Really?
Yeah.
You said I need to learn the rest. You need to. Wait, you still get that?
Yeah, he said whenever he misbehaves, his mom still thwaps
Oh,
him.
your mom. Yeah, I thought you meant like teachers or whatever. They stopped that a while ago.
Well, he dropped out of school when he was only 14, so.
You don't know me.
Yeah,
He does have a homeschool book.
I was actually homeschooled from
right.
like age 6 to 13. Made some egregious mistakes thanks to that. I entered my first day of public school, 8th grade.
No.
I was 13, 12, don't remember. Bright orange short shorts, a white t-shirt.
Booty shorts. Damn.
Not the look, guys. Still isn't the look. Will never be the look. Don't do it.
Sounds like someone out of a cartoon from the 80s, to be honest. It reminds me of like Recess. Did you not have that one? Disney. Anyway, Leshrac banned out. Legion Commander removed as well from FlyToMoon.
Yep. It's a nice ban because you don't want to get something that, like, you think about all the illusions going to be created by this PL, by the Shadow Demon, plus LC owns you in lane, and then you have this just kill threat at all times. I'm really loving what Spirit have. I think that they're vastly ahead in the draft. I'll be curious to see how this ends up.
As long as FlyToMoon pick a mid hero that can actually make moves on the map, take the fights.
Now, they need a
when I don't
Riki
mind.
answer, though.
Yeah, but like for example, I've seen like when they pick Tiny.
Hey!
Tiny,
Look at that.
The Tiny.
Give me some love. Give me
Thank
some
you.
love. There
the
we go.
Tiny actually allows them to play out a game, right? It's that aggressive. Like we've seen so many times in these games where a team might be ahead, they lose a little bit of focus, lose respect to maybe the high ground, and suddenly now you have this Tiny factor that he's going to be able to rinse through.
Is Necro out of the pool?
I don't believe it was banned.
I believe it might be
Never
available,
again.
which would be a strong lane.
Tiny owns Riki. You get so much armor from your ultimate, especially as a core. Plus, low HP hero Riki meet the Tiny combo. And these two supports as well, because of the status resist, you just kind of tank through Bane.
say, yeah.
You just ignore pretty much everything you've got. And I'm fairly certain you'd beat a Void Spirit in lane.
The last time we actually saw FlyToMoon play this Tiny, I believe, he didn't. If you looked at his heat map, he did not leave mid. He had like SMY.
Yeah.
Butterfly, he just kept chunking through towers, and it's that fact that he has this status resistance. You've got, what's your lockdown right now? Of course, you technically have Diffusal Clouds, kind of cute. You then have Grip, Soulbind. Like, it's so hard to get through this Tiny, and then you're going to get to a point of the game where if you focus so much on Tiny, PL's now got a game to play.
I agree, and this core makes the whole draft make sense all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Because now Pangolier of General is going to have a much easier time with these two cores that are going to go in first. Your SSD Nyx suddenly can be relied upon to provide reliable lockdown, and all of a sudden it looks like Spirit's out of damage. So you could go for something like Necrophos here. You want like some raw magic damage that sustains throughout a team fight, because you can expect against these sorts of heroes, the fights are going to drag on. Monkey King. I'm not sure I'm buying, guys. I think PL's still king here.
Yeah, I think the lane as well isn't horrendous for Tiny as well. You're going to play off your tree. You get that point in toss. If Monkey ever wants to play onto you, you just toss him away. It might be a little bit like uncomfortable to play, but it's not going to be like that classic got you with the monkey pick. So.
Problem is, Monkey King's got such low base armor, and Nyx, one of my favorite heroes to rotate and just toss back onto, right? If you ever get a single toss on MK into tower range, Nyx is there, that's a kill, 100%. So to me, this game's going to come down to this mid lane, because that hero needs to make space for their core. Riki versus PL is kind of this weird matchup where I think we've seen a lot of Rikis get Battle Fury against a PL. You can clear the illusions, but if you get that item behind, PL just wins the game. So it's curious.
I think the other thing as well is in the mid lane, if the Tiny has a good time, he still will want to sit mid, farm up, and be quite a farm-dependent core. That's how he likes to play it. Meanwhile, the Monkey King, even if he goes even or maybe behind, he's going to want to be active on the map. So you're going to have a discrepancy between the amount of cores you can bring to a fight between these two teams. I think Spirit might have the advantage early on, but I think it's too hard for them to go high ground, right? They play off of Wukongs. Outside of Wukongs, how do they ever hit a tier 3?
Plus Shadow Demon against Monkey King, you just purge him, and you're never going to get your Dream Mastery stacks up. You're just in trouble. Same with the Void Spirit Shield. I really got to say, I like FlyToMoon's draft here. I think the Tiny pick is perfect for it. As long as they can survive 15, 20 minutes, I think that eventually they pull it out.
So both on the FlyToMoon train?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, good.
Well, panel all in favor of FlyToMoon. We'll see if they can actually get that aggression they need, or if maybe Team Spirit can rely on this Monkey King to carry them through that early game. We have got Shiva Lacoste on the line, ready to take us away with the commentary.
Oh, hell yes, well, we do indeed. This should be a good one, an active one. I'm ready to see this game through together with Lacoste. Lacoste, how are you doing today?
I'm good. It's still early, but it's never too early for some CIS Dota. And the panel talked about drafts, like team spirit. I'm not convinced by this Monkey King, and everything they have is like single target. All their abilities pretty much are single target besides Wukong's command. And yeah, you might make Pangalier's life miserable with Bane ulti, with Grimstroke ulti, Cloud on top of him. But I love just what they have. You have Tiny, who's going to create the space for Phantom Lancer, and I don't believe Ricky Battle Fury can match Phantom Lancer's farm. You might need to go for it, but still Phantom Lancer just farms way too quickly.
Now, there's two things that stood out from the conclusion, the panel's conclusion on the draft for me. One thing, and they brushed over real quick, is that I think it was Kyle that said, you know, this PL is still going to be the strongest hero on the map, or something along those lines. And I remember being preached to by Winter about, you know, all you need to know when you're watching a draft, you look at the 10 heroes, you think, which hero is the strongest on the map? That's the team that is going to win most of the time.
You might want to unplug your cable sheaves.
Oh.
You're a bit robotic right now. Hope that fixes it. Yeah, Winter always has some nice points. Like, what is the strongest hero on the map? It definitely is Phantom Lancer in this game. You know, like
it should be
Monkey
better
King
right now, right?
Well, it's not.
What? No!
Try to reconnect.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm solo casting this one. I'm getting double the money, which is very good for me. So I don't care if you manage to reconnect or not. Hope you're back, Sheaves.
I'm back, but I don't know if I'm a robot. Is it good? Am I good?
It's good now. Yeah.
Yay! Let's see if we can do that the whole game and the whole series through. My bad. Actually, Owen's bad, but let's not blame.
Yeah, it's probably Owen who is messing up with the settings, of course.
Yes. Very, very true. All right, so PL strongest hero on the map. And the mid lane. The other comment that stood out to me was like the mid lane is going to be very important, which is perfect because for both teams, I kind of feel like Aragon and Iceberg are like the players to watch on their squad.
Iceberg, definitely a player to watch. You never know what can happen with him. Even though he is playing against the Monkey King, Tiny with the tree grab, he's kind of a melee/range hero. You have almost 400 range with it. And Monkey King should be careful. Like, he has only 2 armor. If you toss him back to the tower, he's straight up dead. Like, it's not that great of a matchup for Monkey.
No. So we're going to see more rotations already, perhaps, from Misha, for example. Misha is already on his way to the middle lane. See if he can help out Aragon a little bit.
I don't think he can do much as Bane. Maybe he just wants to try to kill the courier.
No.
I'm just kidding.
Just pass it through.
I thought he was going to use one brain sap and then just go back to the top lane, which means that Ricky was solo on the top, pulled the creep wave for himself, but he is only 3 CS, while you have other heroes like Phantom Lancer, he's already 10 and 4.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't have the Bane to help him out, so maybe that's the reason, but at the same time, I kind of feel like he should have more than 3. Oh, he has 5 at least now, so that's good. Alright, on this bottom lane, what are you expecting from this? A PL versus a Void Spirit Grim and the Shadow Demon, of course, here too for FlyToMoon. Which lane do you favor?
It's a Grimstroke who tends to play very aggressive. Now that they are level 2, Remnant with the Ink Swell, that's a lot of damage, and they just use the combo, but there's always disruption to save things up.
Yeah.
But if they keep doing that, they're gonna run out of region on FlyToMoon side.
And the disruption level 1 is very long cooldown as well, almost half a minute. So the cooldown from the Grimstroke Void Spirit combo is a little shorter than that. They might be able to continue that aggression. In the meantime, on the top lane, Iceberg.
Yeah, I saw him queuing up a raid band. Like, just for some extra attack speed on Tiny. Tiny's attack speed is insanely bad.
He just wants to hit people. Which, you know, is very fitting, because he used to be a boxer.
That's true.
That is true. And he is doing really well in this middle lane, but he is keeping even with the Monkey King, which you said should not be the case. He should win.
Tiny
no?
should win? No.
Yeah.
Like I would say 55, like 45 for Monkey King.
For Monkey King.
It also
okay.
depends on the rotation. I mean, you're still, what is his range? 350 when he has a tree. Still, you're harassing Monkey King, but Monkey has Orb of Venom. But the thing is, you should not die in this lane. If you have enough mana to always use a toss, you're not gonna die.
Oh, always want to fly. He is going to die. There you go. First blood on the board. Afterlife will take it. And he disrupted the Void Spirit rather than himself this time around. Not sure if that was the best play, but at the same time, probably would have died either way. I did not know that the Inkswell would still stun even if you were disrupted.
Wait, what? Inside
So the Void Spirit was disrupted, but the Shadow Demon still got stunned from the Inkswell by the looks of it.
I don't think that's possible. You're involved.
Okay, maybe I just saw it completely wrong. That
But I could be
too.
wrong. Dota works in mysterious ways. Can I get
It's
this
true.
kill? It would be
Yes,
pretty
they
big.
can.
Yep. So he
4
used the
stacks or
90
2?
gold worth of item to TP back, and now you have to walk back to the lane for like 20 seconds, which means that the FlyToMoon's carry will get the free farm on this lane.
Yeah. That was a risky teleport and did not pay off for that Grimstroke indeed. So you want some movements into the middle lane, but you already said Bane wasn't a great one to rotate and help out either Monkey King. We do have on the other side a Nyx Assassin thinking about rotating and helping out his Tiny. Maybe. But who do you want to have rotate middle? Like, who is gonna help either of these guys? Or do they not need help? They're still keeping fairly even.
One way to rotate when you have Tiny in your team as a mid laner is just you stand on your tier 1 tower and he uses the back toss. That's the play. Like, you don't try to go around, use a stun. Also, I don't know what Bane is doing. I guess she was just making a rotation because Nyx Assassin was missing, so he was protecting his Monkey King. Otherwise, like, you don't want to make a rotation with Bane. This combo makes no sense. Like, what are you gonna do? Use a Nightmare into Jingu and then Monkey falls asleep?
Yep, that's basically it. That's what you got. But he is going to be making his way back top with an Invis rune this time around. Aloedan's already was top again because the harassment on the Racho is... well, it's still pretty intense, to be honest. Oh, that's unfortunate. Aloedan's misses a stun there. And that might actually set up to... Nah, this is just... It's just harassment. They don't really have a lot of kill potential on the top lane at all. Not yet.
It's very important in general has a good game. Disarm from Lucky Shot is sick against Ricky, against Monkey King. And you don't want to buy early BKBs on these two cores. Like, you want to get at least 1.5 item before.
We have Aragon, by the way, farming some of the neutral stacks from... not stacks, but the neutrals from Iceberg. And he leaves like one mud golem there, so he took the one with the 2 little ones, just to make sure that if Iceberg is going to farm there, he's going to find less gold in the camp than he would before. It's quite funny. Oh, V-Tune taking quite a beating. He still has a doppelganger. Will be using it to get out. Always want to fly. He has 4 stacks on Afterlife, making sure that Afterlife is not going to chase that, even though the Inkswell did hit. Not enough damage to do anything. So this is quite a quiet laning stage, Lacoste. I'm not impressed. Where's the bot lane? Yeah.
On that lane,
please.
As expected, like, there shouldn't be any kills if there aren't rotations. Like, both of them are just gonna farm. Top lane as well, you said it's not really a killer lane.
How can you make it a killer lane? Or do the teams just... top lane or bottom lane? Do the teams just want to continue on? Like, are they both fine with the way things are going?
I think it's very important for both of these teams that offliners are having a good time, and they are. Like,
okay.
Both of these heroes are like team fighting, assassinate type of heroes.
True. So at what point do you feel like they're gonna be more active? Like, what do they need any items, or is it just levels that they need?
Level 6 once you get on Pangolier, but he is very low on mana. They have a Sentry Ward, Ricky, no Quelling Blade. Interesting. Man knows how to last hit even without it, which is pretty impressive for 2020.
Does it everybody, or does everybody now buy a Quelling Blade to
Everyone just
basically
gets a Quelling Blade. It's an extra damage, you clear the waves faster, which means that you farm, get more gold. More gold means more items, and more items means more probability to win.
Yep. And Iceberg just read the situation wrong. That was an interesting movement from him. He walked all the way top, decided that Racho disappearing from the lane must mean that they have a ward on the high ground, which they didn't. So if the counter wards happen, because at that point it was the same time away, General, he is able to roll around. Misha is there to help out the Nightmare, keeping the Racho safe. He's able to jump to the back. Pops the salve as well. General is alive. The Racho is alive, no longer salve. The tree gets tossed away. In the meantime, Always Wanna Fly dies on the bottom lane. Both sides having a battle at about the same time. But that was a close one there. And in the end, on the lanes, it's only a Shadow Demon that dies to Afterlife, who is not going to be... Surely it's too late, yeah. This outpost will remain in the control of the Radiant. Afterlife is going to run. He's going to at least take this Bounty Rune. Will drop to VTune.
That's 200 gold and XP to Phantom Lancer, who's already having a great game. And Pano talked about Tiny's item build. Like, you're not going to see this Boink Dagger. You just get status resistance, SNY, Mask of Madness, which increases your farm. Look at how farm he fast with. I mean, he has a built-in Battle Fury basically, and now with the Mask of Madness, it's only 25 mana, low cooldown. You can keep using it pretty much always.
Yeah, he's on top of the net worth, closely followed by VTune's Phantom Lancer, and of course he was. Well, already playing aggressive. He might be regretting playing aggressive, though, because Team Spirit is here. 4 of them are here, actually. All here to try and take down Iceberg, but General wanted to stop it. This Rolling Thunder and the Lucky Shot doing a lot of damage there. Team Spirit gets the Monkey King. Wukong's command out, but the Monkey King dies inside of that, and now Iceberg comes back in with all the spells on cooldown. Maybe his time to shine. He does pop a couple of bottle charges, but it's not enough. Doesn't give him enough mana to try and go for this. That was fortunate for Team Spirit. And actually, VTune rotated for this one as well. They're not done yet. Always Wanna Fly. Getting a disruption in the backline. This Bane, very squish, will die.
Tiny is just way too tanky to take him down. He is 1800 HP. And this is why I thought that the offlaners are very important in this game. There was no Void Spirit in the fight. And what Pango does, also break from Nyx Assassin on that monkey, so he can get the Jingu Mastery procs. And now that's gonna be a free tower. So much better trade from FlyToMoon.
And
there's a big difference.
Do you feel like
what offlaner from FlyToMoon brings to a team fight and Void Spirit? He's going straight into Aghanims, which I really like. The AoE silence is great.
Yeah. Do you feel like he is... Like, he should have gone top to help with the fight, or did he make the right call?
He should definitely be top. Very elusive, hard to kill. If they use their spells, there's no way you're dying. And the problem was Bane was almost level 6, and Grimstroke doesn't even have a point in ulti, even though he is 6.
Sentries upon sentries, and that means no aggression in the Radiant jungle at the moment. Yeah, I'm curious to see when Afterlife is gonna mingle in these fights, because that first bit of aggression, it kind of feels to me like it set the tone, like in favor of FlyToMoon in terms of like the flow. If they determine the flow, they're ahead. They are gonna be able to keep up with that, and it's gonna be hard for Team Spirit to wiggle those reins away from FlyToMoon.
I'm just worried about these two supports. Like, Bane is a lane dominator. You did not really win the top lane. The combo is great. That's the only combo they have with the Grimstroke ulti. Double Fiend's Grip. But you need to skill the ulti, and he just did on a Grimstroke.
Yeah, the downside is, of course, the ways of stopping the channel of the Fiend's Grip. There's a lot of ways to stop that channel from happening. Actually, everybody can stop it. Yeah. Apart from the Phantom Lancer, everybody can just interrupt him.
So once Phantom Lancer gets the Fusel Blade, they should be ready to fight, and it's gonna come faster than Ricky's one, so they will have like a 1-2 minute window. Tiny.
Ooh, Nightmare set things up. Fiend's Grip coming in as well. Spike Carapace doesn't interrupt the Fiend's Grip just yet. They are able to kill the next assassin and Iceberg as well. They're not done yet. They are also getting the Shadow Demon. Everybody from Team Spirit punishing a little bit of extra aggression on the side of Iceberg, who did not have his team backing him up this time around.
Next assassin made a mistake. Like, he was waiting with the stun, then tried to use Carapace and got silenced after. Carapace did nothing. Didn't stop the Bane. And Team Spirit, like, they are bringing numbers every single time. They have more people. Oh, next.
Ooh, nice by Carapace this time around, but I'm not sure if that's where you want to be. Aloha Downs, he will die before he can do anything else. General, Rolling Thunder through everything. Nice swashbuckle. Trying to force them away from this tower is going to be the goal. Afterlife. Yeah, they are able to force them away from the tower. They don't get a kill off the back of it, but FlyToMoon save their tier 1.
It's very important to keep your tier 1 tower alive. Ricky in a range of sentry, but there is no follow-up, so he's just gonna blink away. Also, I see Pangolier is going for like a greedy build. I don't think you need to have it in this game. You have Tiny, who's not getting a blink dagger, which means he's building this like strength status resistance items. So you want to have something that builds into like a pipe. Vlad's Javelin is fine. I don't mind Javelin because you will always be having a kill potential with that item, but I would want to see like a Vlad's on him right now.
Yeah, you want him to be taking the more supporty items, if you will, like the auras.
Yes, you have Tiny who scales, you have Phantom Lancer who will be the strongest hero in the game at one point, so you don't need to be greedy.
Maybe he'll change his mind. Probably won't, but we'll see. Ooh. Spike Carapace coming out from Aloha Dance, but Afterlife didn't use a single spell anymore. Can he get out is the question. It looks like he will be able to. FlyToMoon is not even going to make an aggressive movement on that one. In the meantime, VP.Prodigy is getting chased by Aragon here. They're able to set them up. Immersion got the time to teleport in as well, and it is this PL that dies. Very deep inside enemy territory. And they're able to find the real one pretty fast as well.
Once Phantom Lancer gets a couple of items, like one item that boosts his HP, either like a Basher, which is made from Vanguard, or you get like a Heart, these two supports are not gonna do anything. It's very hard for them to play into any kind of illusion heroes.
But, I mean, he just got a Diffusal Blade. I thought maybe FlyToMoon would try to play a little bit more aggressive towards Team Spirit, like as a squad.
That's what I expected.
But they're not. Maybe this is what we've been waiting for. There we go. We got the smoke. They only lack the next assassin, but it doesn't matter. He can come invisible anyway. There's a new sentry placed by Amisha and an op, so okay. They already see VP. The smoke is still intact for a couple, though. They might want to try and wrap around. Do you think they got what it takes to kill Ricky, or will they go mid instead?
Ricky is a tough kill to get.
The two supports are nice,
are easy.
But yeah. I mean, at this point, everybody missing from the map. Team Spirit knows that something's up.
Where could they be?
Yeah, I wonder. I mean, we see a big drawing from the minimap from Aragon. Monkey King knows exactly where they are, so they are indeed scouted out purely by elimination. If they're not anywhere else, they're in that triangle. Their Retro is still the target, though. Or maybe his courier is at this point. Always want to fly. He's going to find the dust. Ooh, getting silenced up. Still got the purge off, though. Gets a disruption off on himself as well. And Team Spirit, they want to be here for it. They teleport in. Always want to fly. He's going to be the first target at this rate. But VP is here, and he's going for the Racho. Out of mana, out of life almost as well. But he's getting saved for the moment. VP just backing off again, now going back in for the Racho, who lost his Bane already. Jumps forward to Afterlife. Oh, out of that one as well, and jumps to the tower. But is it enough to live? It is not enough to live. And VP is in now, past the tier 1 tower. Spy Carapace as well, and indeed Iceberg from the side, going for old Afterlife. In the meantime, Monkey King can't really contribute to this fight anymore either, and he knows Aragon is just watching from the tree side, from the tree tops. Iceberg is still in with this. Getting Fiend's Grip from the high ground by Misha, and there's no way to interrupt it with the lower downs being asleep. Now Aragon going back in on Iceberg, getting the stun off there as well. There is enough damage to take him down. A little bit too deep there in the dust. Catches the lower downs as well, but he'll be able to make it out alive.
That's why I love Iceberg. There's still tier 1 tower on the bottom lane, almost full HP. He decides to toss his teammate onto a tier 3 tower and just pays the price.
Yep.
I mean, if he used the toss straight away, they would have been able to kill him. You're still dead, Shadow Demon.
Yeah, I admire the attempt to live. You know, he definitely gave it his all. Sometimes you just see support standing still and just waiting for it to come. No, not always want to fly. He's just gonna try his darnest to make him work for it.
Very weird fights chosen by FlyToMoon. First Tiny doesn't show up on time, then when he shows up, just feeds a kill straight away. And this will give, if they give them 1 or 2 more fights like this, it will give Team Spirit enough time to farm the items. Like Monkey King is going into BKB so that he can stand his ground and fight. If Ricky is going for Diffusable, for Battle Fury, and Tiny's gonna die again.
He is. He's silenced up. Is there anybody that's able to help him? If there is, it's not gonna be in time. Teleport cancelled by the Shadow Demon as well, and this should be the end of this tier 1 tower. There's still some people hiding around though. Always want to, or rather, a lower dance in the trees, getting scouted out as well. They find Always Want to Fly. Is in under a cloud. It's being forced back. Can't save any of his teammate. I think they should just let this tower die. The Racho, maybe they can kill him off though. They're doing a lot of damage. They are able to take him down. And Misha from the sidelines, VP coming in. They do lose their tower, but at least they denied it. No extra gold going the way of Team Spirit. It's a 2 for 2 in the end. But the next assassin, of course, joining Iceberg's Tiny there. Who do you favor?
Sloppy executions from both of these teams. They got the tier 1 tower, but it's not those kinds of fights you want to choose at the moment. We see more of these back and forth fights with these tier 2 teams, where one team has an advantage but doesn't know how to utilize it properly. There was a couple of unnecessary deaths already on Iceberg, but I still feel they are in control of this game.
Yeah. They are the ones that are able to fight more, it feels like, or easier. They have lower cooldowns to work with, perhaps, although obviously the Rolling Thunder, I guess, is that their longest cooldown to work with?
Yeah.
No, that's not that long either. It's nice. Have we seen the combination of the 2 Fiend's Grips properly yet?
Not yet.
Maybe this smoke gank will provide some of that, because they do look for a target to kill. They will try to hunt someone down. If they can find the real one, VP. Oh, the real one actually is the one that they didn't find there in the end. He does get stunned. They actually go for the wrong target altogether. And now VP thinking about going on immersion. Yep, they got that Ilu real good. The rest of FlyToMoon is in this fight now too, and Aragon coming in with his BKBs. Look at the turn this one in their favor, but so far nobody dares walk into his Wukong's command. So it is Team Spirit that is looking to run away from the situation. Iceberg on the hunt, still getting stuck in the Ether Remnant. There's a Bane that died in the sideline. The toss in with the Spike Carapace. This time does hit Afterlife, but there's not enough to chase. I mean, the toss is really all they have in terms of chase potential, unless General goes with the Rolling Thunder, which he's thinking about. Ooh, that is a Ricky walking into a vision. There happen to be some sentry wards out there, and Racho will pay the price for that one. In the meantime, Immersion didn't back up far enough. Will die there too. VP dominating.
You don't have to have perfect execution. You just need to like play decently on FlyToMoon to win these team fights. Even though Fiend's Grip was used on PL Illusion, it's still hard for Bane to like just stand his ground and ulti people. There's a lot of ways to either use a disruption or any kind of a stun to interrupt it. And they don't have the best like frontliner on Team Spirit. Yeah, Monkey King with the BKB stands, but everyone is just running away.
Yeah, it feels like there's just a lot of mistakes being made this game. It's like, okay, everybody of Team Spirit runs away from that fight, right? And sure, FlyToMoon wants to chase, so they toss someone in. And then when they can't find the target that they toss someone in on, why is the rest still so close? Why could they still find everybody else? There's like no reason to, because they should have backed off further by that time, but they didn't because they are maybe underestimating the FlyToMoon willingness to fight or to dive a tier 1 tower, which is weird because they dive towers all the time.
I mean, they want us to be entertained, and we are. This is a much better approach from General. Like, he decided to go for Force Staff as his next item to push people out of the clouds, push people out of Wukong's command. Rolling Thunder duration. Oh man, that town got nerfed hard. 1 second less.
No. Plus 3 seconds. Still went for it over the shield crash and ball cooldown. So we are 12 to 12 in terms of kills, but 4k gold in favor of FlyToMoon. And as you say, they have an easier time executing these team fights. How will then Team Spirit win fights? Because they do want to fight. They just have to find that perfect fight for them. I guess they have to make this smoke successful. Step 1.
Let's go. Good positioning. They're standing around the wharf. Always want to fly nose.
Yeah. Oh, they find some supports first. They go for always want to fly, but the disruption is there. Afterlife already realizing is in way too deep. In comes the real V-Tune this time around, and Immersion does get the Soul Bind off, but there is no chance to get a Fiend's Grip off in this one. Misha already had to cancel his. V-Tune is still looking for targets. Old Afterlife jumped to the other side of the cliff. Will be picked off. 3 heroes dead on the side of Team Spirit, and they are just running for the hills at this point if they even can. The only one that can actually run is the Monkey King. Ergon was already out teleporting to the mid lane. That was disastrous. Like, that was not even close. That was like worse than disastrous. And the instant counter smoke. FlyToMoon is just rolling through this.
How you can win a game with your position 5 plays. Positioning from Shadow Demon, setting up a sentry and an observer ward. Team Spirit just went into a trap.
Yeah.
Even though they have Aghanim's on Void Spirit, we can like silence people for 4 seconds if you timed it correctly. There's still 2 Force Staffs plus a Shadow Demon disruption, so a lot of ways to like prolong these team fights, which FlyToMoon really benefits from. Like, they're not relying on any cooldowns to win a fight. The longest cooldown is Rolling Thunder, and even without it, they can still take a fight. One good thing to notice is like Bane, he's new and feeble, I'm gonna call it, even though it's been like that for quite some time. Like, you lower the status resistance, so status resistance build like on Tiny is just gonna be nullified. If you use spells on him, of course.
Yeah, but everything gets interrupted all the time anyway, so it doesn't really matter if it is 0.1 second on the Fiend's Grip, or if it is going to be 0.5 second on the Fiend's Grip. It's going to be short either way with all these interrupts coming out. It doesn't feel like Team Spirit can really find the fight that they want, and they still have a really big Phantom Lancer problem.
It is. Like, Ricky is forced to get a BKB. He was trying to get Battle Fury, but right now you just need an item to take care of yourself since there's no save on your side. Same goes for Monkey. BKB into Maelstrom, you need like Radiance, Maelstrom, Battle Fury to deal with PL.
Afterlife, I think you made a mistake. Coming in too close, they are able to kill off the next assassin. V-Tune though, he's just looking for the targets. He has got that Aegis, he feels no fear, going for Misha now. Misha, if you can find the real one, you can get a Fiend's Grip or a Knight. No, that was the wrong one. Too bad. Unfortunate indeed. Oh, the Racho. If there's vision there, they're gonna find you. But luckily for him, no sentries on the board at the moment. Still a trade. That's something.
No, you traded the tier 2 tower for nothing. Good trade.
I mean, they got the next assassin kill. You know, silver linings.
The problem is this Phantomizer has a basher at the moment, and with the illusions, both of these supports can't deal well with the illusions. Like, you run at them, and they need to run back.
Yeah. Well, 2 more outer towers on the side of Team Spirit. The Aegis is still in the hands of VTune. Looks like for now, though, they're backing off, getting some more farm, pushing out some more waves. Ooh. Yeah, that scan on the Radiant side did scout out the Retro, but the Retro is already out. Teleported out. In the meantime, on the top lane, Monkey King could not teleport out. Didn't even try. Didn't even have time to pop his BKB and do anything at all with all the disable coming out from Aloha Dance and Iceberg. Couldn't even take out a tier 1 tower. It's very sad.
It's just slowly falling apart for Team Spirit. 2 supports being stuck in
rapidly
the
falling apart.
Yeah.
Who is not stuck in the base? The only one not stuck in the base is Aragon, right?
Duracio's just farming, trying to get any kind of farm. Even Void Spirit has more farm than Ricky in this game.
Why is that? Did he have such a bad lane?
He didn't get that much. I mean, we go back to Quelling Blade. By Quelling Blade, he would have Battle Fury plus 1 more item if he had it. Just kidding. But definitely...
I would have been impressed with that. They're just poking on the tower, seeing if someone comes out. But Team Spirit's not yet being baited into fighting. Want to wait out that Aegis on that PL first. But at this point, I mean, 10k, 11k gold in favor of FlyToMoon. Team Spirit is just looking a little lost. They need more time, a lot more time to get the Retro to the point where he can actually fight properly against a PL. Is he the only one who can monkey get something?
They know exactly where they are, stuck in their base.
That's fair. They know the base like the back of their hand.
It's
Time
just that
to explore everything.
Has way too many items at the moment. None of these cores deal well with him. Look at the ratio. He might be in trouble. There's a gem on General. Gemeral. Yeah, Dairatcho. I mean, that's unfortunate, but he just really he needs to be out, right? He needs to get that BKB, and if he's not out farming, they'll know for sure that they're not going to win. So he needs to take those risks, and they don't always pay off. Like this time around. And without that Racho, they're going to try to force a buyback, but he doesn't want to use that money to buy back. He wants to use that money to buy BKB, so I think they might just give up this entire lane of racks. They have to at this point. Wow, Iceberg is just chunking through that barracks. Alright, they got the entire lane, and they're already pinging out the tier 2 on the top lane. At least the Aegis disappears, so maybe Team Spirit has a fighting chance? It's just a slow death. Ricky sold everything and now has a BKB, 1 raid band, Diffusal Blade, and Power Treads. This is do or die for them. They might just straight up GG. They know Aegis is gone, and if they lose this fight, with the AC on Tiny plus a 3 grab, like, they can just end the game if they lose this one.
Oh, the smoke is broken by a Aloha Dance. They know someone's close. A lot of pings happening. Both teams are aware something is on foot. Team Spirit just really wants to get the jump on FlyToMoon, and FlyToMoon just... Well, they want to get the jump on Team Spirit.
And Tiny is so fat. Look at him. A thick rock. 3.6k HP with what, 40% status resistance?
Woo! Oh, they found Aragon. He's trying to make it out of here. He finds immersion instead, actually. VTune looking for some juicy support blood. And support blood is being found by Iceberg as well. Misha can't get himself back up to life with a brain set. The Rusher in the meantime pops his BKB, takes a couple of hits from Iceberg and gives him a double kill with that. His life is down and out because he does not have buyback. Supports were able to buy back. Let's see what they can do with the two of them. Both of them still have their ultimates available. Nightmare to keep himself alive. Misha is just running to try and see if he can make it to the fountain. But at this point, even the illusions of VTune aren't hurting him so much. He does end up making it out of the fountain, but is not able to help out Aragon. He's trying to keep himself alive. His BKB already running out. He's running around in his Wukong's command, but yeah, that's unfortunate.
Oh,
Forced to buy back.
That's the combo.
There it is. Where's the damage? In comes Aragon. It's too late though. They are able to kill off Misha at the back. But this PL, oh, finally they get him. And Iceberg will die as well with Afterlife coming back in after he killed off the Shadow Demon. That is the defense that Team Spirit was hoping for. Although it wasn't, I mean, seriously, that was FlyToMoon basically winning the game and thinking, ha, let's just dive fountain, almost. And they went a little bit too deep, but that was, all things considered, better than expected.
Team Spirit. Yeah, I mean, they just gave it to them. I'm pretty sure it was Iceberg with that call, guys, give me the rampage.
Yeah.
But it did not happen. Like, you don't really need to go for this kind of a play. You only took one Raxes, I mean, one set of Raxes, and how many buybacks did they use? One on Monkey, one on Grimstroke, and one on Bane. So 3 buybacks.
Yeah, 3.
Roche may respawn in 10 seconds. If it spawns straight away, they have enough damage to take it.
Yeah. How much of an opening do you think this fight gave Team Spirit? Like, do they have a lot more higher chance to take out this game? Because they did. Also, did they take the gem from? Oh, they have their own actually. General did not die. Yeah, they have their own.
I wouldn't say it's a comeback. They need like 1 or 2 more fights like this. Your Monkey bought back, which means that he's not gonna have another item. Ricky died, didn't get anything out of that fight.
No, it was kind of sad because we know he went all in for that BKB and he was still just basically cannon fodder for the Tiny. He just punched him like 3 times and he died. BKB is not going to help you live against all that physical damage. FlyToMoon smoked up, looking to make up for their mistakes. Oh, that Racho. Where's General? He's the one with the gem. They place a sentry. More sentries being placed as well on the side of FlyToMoon. Aragon thinking about jumping in. The silence is already in on Always Wanna Fly, but he's able to get Force Staff to the high ground. Still getting chased a little bit as General is the target on one side of the high ground. And it is Team Spirit that is in control of this high ground so far. They are able to take out Always Wanna Fly, but he buys back. He's going to be back in this fight. Wukong's command is up in the meantime. VTune waits until it's over, jumps to the high ground looking for a target, but he can't find anyone at this moment. 2 fights split up, both taken out of support, but a buyback available on one of them and no buyback on the other.
FlyToMoon's like, yeah, you have no Monkey ulti, no BKBs. We're gonna go and try to siege the high ground, even though our position 5 had to use a buyback, but still okay-ish. Oh man, these towers just melt.
Okay, that's the soul bind, but the Bane is dead. We have no follow-up on that. They do not have any other combo for that. Oh, Afterlife being saved for now by Aragon. Can they take out VTune? He's taking quite a bit of damage. He does die. No, he does not. He gets disrupted. He just disappeared. My bad. Afterlife, BKB won't save you now. Through the fountain they go. Jump up the high ground from the Ricky as well. Their Rack's already dead.
They could have done this, I'd say 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Just go for mega creeps. Bane is out, Grimstroke, no ulti, no Void Spirit. Void Spirit has buyback at the moment, and he is causing a lot of like issues if they're fighting outside the base. But FlyToMoon, they should just, you know, focus the Raxes.
Yep.
Still saving buyback on Void Spirit.
Yeah, the buyback is used, and he is back in it together with Aragon. They want to try and take out Iceberg, but he gets Force Staff for now. Safe. Silent stop. Taking quite a bit of damage, and we'll try starting to punch some things, but he won't be able to punch himself out of that one. No, VTune, 1-man army. Is it enough? 1 versus 5 with the Fiend's Grip on the right one. Misha, make sure he kills that one off too. That is 2 cores dead. They still got a lane of racks. They killed 2 cores, forced out a buyback on Iceberg. It's not all bad for Team Spirit. Roshan is available too.
You do not want to give them Roche. Like, Monkey King is farmed right now. He also is getting closer to level 25, built an Aghanim Scepter. So in these prolonged team fights, the Aghanim is going to do so much. If they want to contest this, they need to buy back on Phantom Lancer.
They can. But that puts them in a very tricky situation with already having buyback on Iceberg as well. Avalanche toss coming in. Oh, that is already, they're actually on the sidelines, but it is really this monkey that is the saving grace, perhaps. No, he's also dead for 2 full minutes, and I think that is going to be at the end of it, perhaps, for Team Spirit with the 2 cores on the sidelines. Bane dies as well. Afterlife tries to get himself out of there. Oop. Smarshbuckle misses there from the Pangolier. Avalanche still hits though. He's able to dissimulate himself away, perhaps? No, still gets killed off. He's trying though. He's trying. GG is cold. I must say this was had a very exciting like 10 minutes.